Hello, I'm Tatiana Kaysen, and welcome to a special STN edition of Hempfield Happenings. Our crew of 7 members traveled from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Orlando, Florida to compete in the 10th annual Sweet 16, where thousands of students from around the country gathered to compete to produce a 10-minute news show in just 16 hours. The topic of our show is International Drive, which is a very well-known road in Orlando. While International Drive is home to popular tourist locations such as Disney World, Universal Studios, and more, we wanted to get away from the tourist hub and travel coast to coast, highlighting all that Florida has to offer. This is Hempfield Happenings. From the new and modernized buildings on International Drive lies a historic cabin called Sam's House.
While a lot of activities reside on International Drive, history can be found anywhere in Florida. Like here on the East Coast at Sam's House of Pine Island.
Sam's House at Pine Island is a historic site in Brevard County. It's on the east coast of the state. It's actually a little gem that's hidden out here in the woods in North Merritt Island, and it showcases and highlights the history of Florida.
We do go to SeaWorld and we go to all the attractions on International Drive, but to bring our kids out here and actually educate them of the history of this country so they understand how hard people came down here and worked to create what we have today is really important.
Kids love it. They get to do something that is different than their everyday activities, plus it's outside. They get to pretend. We talk about history, so they really get to use their imagination.
They've taken them outside and they've actually put vegetables out there and showed when they came here, what they actually had to eat.
While International Drive has all the sights and sounds of modern tourism, sometimes you have to go off the beaten path to see a more quiet, hands-on view of history. For STN, I'm Andrew Morris.
Wet n Wild is a popular water park on International Drive. But Megan McGuire traveled to the west coast of Florida and found a water park with a distinct difference.
82.7 miles west of International Drive lies a national and water park with fun for the whole family.
I've been in theme parks my entire career, and this has by far been my favorite. We've got a riverboat cruise, which take our guests a little bit further down the Weeki Wachee River, and then of course we've got our water park, Buccaneer Bay, where people can actually swim in the first magnitude spring. So it's a fun-filled day for really all ages.
But Weeki Wachee has something unique unlike anything on International Drive. Mermaids, like Brianna Wardlow, a mermaid in training.
Here, and I've been training here for about 4 months. It's pretty rigorous training. You get scuba certified first, and then you learn to do the air hose. You start doing the choreography in the water, and you just work your way up, and when they think you're ready, you get in a show.
They swim in a first magnitude spring, and our theater was built in the late 50s, and it was submerged right into the first magnitude spring. Disney, Universal can't replicate the spring that we have here. So that makes us unique. So we're the only theater like it in the world.
It's just a really interesting, magical place. When I first started, there's a moment where I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it and getting on the air hose, and it's definitely a different way of life.
Curtain rises, and you see this beautiful first magnitude spring, and then you incorporate beautiful mermaids. It just really adds this great kitsch and this myth about mermaids.
The West Coast Weeki Wachee Springs is certainly a mystical experience away from International Drive. For STN, I'm Megan McGuire.
Florida is home to around 1.5 million gators, but you won't see any roaming around on International Drive. Sarah Garcia visited the home of thousands of gators, known as Gatorland.
He's trying to scare you, and that's his way of saying get out.
Here in sunny Orlando, miles away from International Drive, lies a theme park called Gatorland.
If folks want to get away from I-Drive, they want to see real Florida, and this is about as real as you can get. Well, I-Drive has great shops, wonderful restaurants. It's a great place to go and have fun, but this is laid back, and it's Florida.
Known for its large wildlife and a home to many gators, the park attracts many tourists from all over the world. One particular tourist was here working on a unique new project. Gatorland is not just a theme park full of gators. It's open to more than just sightseeing. Here we bumped into BBC, who is working with the rotary woofer to generate infrasound that causes the gators to bellow.
We've been working with BBC for the past 4 days, and they are filming a segment for a documentary on the bellowing of alligators. And a gentleman over in Tallahassee built these 2 gigantic speakers, if you will, that replicate that bellowing sound.
The transducer inside is called a rotary woofer, and our company, Eminent Technology, manufactures rotary woofers. They're designed to play infrasound, sound below 20 hertz. We determined with a hydrophone that the gator vocal fundamental is 19 hertz.
Bellowing is a sound that alligators make. It's a roaring sound, and it generates an infrasound. It's a low frequency sound that carries out through the water. They feel it from miles away, and they pick their heads and their tails up. They draw in this enormous amount of air, and then they kind of sink back in the water and resonate.
Gatorland has welcomed many people beyond International Drive, including those outside the country interested in the Florida wildlife. For STN, I'm Sarah Garcia.
With all the chain restaurants on International Drive, a local organic cafe, such as the Dandelion Cafe, is a nice change of atmosphere. When people visit Orlando, they tend to visit the hotspots like International Drive. But if you go just off the beaten path, you'll find locally owned businesses that show the true Orlando, like here at the Dandelion Cafe.
Dandelion Cafe got started as a booth at a farmer's market, actually. Our whole impetus is to help weave community, and so I was very specific about wanting a house. I wanted it to feel cozy, and I also wanted to have a green space where we could have a garden and for a place for people to relax and stuff like that. It really is about just how real we are. We're real with our food. We're real people with real passions. Artists, musicians work here, and we're really excited about building and co-creating community.
The food is excellent. It's all homegrown, so their whole philosophy is to have everything locally grown here, or else they'll reach out to another local grown vendor, so you know you're keeping the local economy alive.
Our mission, it literally is to save the world by starting with ourselves. And we do that by luring people into community through good food. And so that's what we do, is we try to build community, because long-term sustainability happens through community, not being so reliant on the corporate town. Orlando is really famous for the theme parks, International Drive, all of that jazz. I'm one of the co-founders of the Our Orlando movement, and that was a local initiative to help support and nurture independent businesses. But to just take Orlando back and not be seen as, okay, we're the theme park tourist destination. We've got so many cool things that are happening that never really get the limelight. So that's what we do, is we kind of serve as an inspiration place, a place for people to get engaged and exchange ideas, and really be able to pursue their own passions.
So if you ever want a taste of the true Orlando, stop on by. For STN, I'm Allie Swope. Although International Drive is a popular tourist location, there's so much more Florida to explore from east to west. For STN, I'm Tatiana Casey.
Hello, my name is Matt Bitter, the instructor for the Communications Technology classes here at Hempfield High School. And I'm here with 7 senior level students that produced what you just watched. We call it the Sweet 16. Taddy, can you talk a little bit about what the Sweet 16 is?
Sure. The Sweet 16 is where we had 16 hours to shoot, edit, and produce a new show.
That's That's right. And normally Hempfield Happenings, how long does it take for us to produce a Hempfield Happenings show, Allie?
About a month and a half. It takes the whole class to put together a new show.
Okay, and you put what we just saw together in a matter of 16 hours. Obviously, Megan, it wasn't a local show. Where did you get the travel to?
No, we traveled to Orlando, Florida, to the Orlando Convention Center down there. It was a really awesome place, and it was full of like different people that we got to meet and different schools that got to come together and really try to do something that we all enjoy.
Now, during the Sweet 16, you didn't just stay in Orlando, Florida. Tommy, can you talk about, because you traveled the most, Tommy, where did you go while we were down there?
Well, our first experience, so we were there and we were given our challenge, and then so we decided to go coast to coast. So I was in the car from Orlando, then we went to the East Coast, Merritt Island or Pine Island, one of those things. And then we came back to Orlando around like 1:30. And then we went all the way out to Weeki Wachee for Megan's story.
That's right, and we actually have a drawing, a map here of where we traveled. It was over 400 miles throughout 12 hours. And I thought you guys did an excellent job. Sam, what did you feel about the experience?
Well, everybody was a little bit doubtful of our ability to execute it in the beginning, I think. But at the end of the day, we all did our best, and I think we succeeded.
That's great. Well, congratulations on a great job. And did you have a good time at the convention?
We did.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later.